Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Just on Rockfeed is the name of the channel. Just come across it, to be honest. It was in the top there when I made the last video. I seen this yesterday, possibly on a different channel. New forensic study: Curt Cobain ruling should be homicide. So, as I mentioned this in the last video, me personally, I've known. Bear with us just a second. So, here's the man himself, lead singer of Nirvana. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, Kurt Cobain. Fucking, again, very, very big fan of Nirvana when I was young. At the time of his death, I was very much into sort of grunge, heavy metal, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Nirvana. Very much my scene at the time, in 1994, when Kurt Cobain's life was taken from the earth on the 5th of April 1994. And from the 5th of April, possibly the 6th of April 1994 there. So we're talking a good 32 years. 32 years here. For 32 years I have known that this man did not kill himself. Quite simply through the fact that he killed himself with a shotgun. I've mentioned this in the last video. And he had shoes on, and he had a long barrel shotgun, and there's no way he could have pulled the trigger. This has been attempted by people. It was attempted in the aftermath to prove that this was murder, but nobody would listen. You cannot shoot yourself with a shotgun, a long barrel shotgun, with your shoes on, with the particular shoes that Curt Cobain had on. He couldn't get his foot, primarily his toe, onto the trigger to pull it because of the shape and the size of the shoe. It was physically impossible, and attempted by multiple people after his death in attempt to prove that he did not kill himself. He was murdered most probably by his wife, Courtney Love, or she had a hand in it, but very much suspected that she was the murderer. So, yeah, 5th of April 1994. Anybody who's worth the salt, I know a lot of people who never believed this man killed himself. We've known for 32 years here, well, 31 years and 10 months to be precise, that this man did not kill himself. And again, if you knew the background, he was one of the most happiest he'd ever been in his life at that point. He'd had a child, he was a very successful, rich music artist, he'd got where he wanted to be in the music industry. Again, there was no, again, people, oh, well, he was a depressive person. Yeah, but when depressive persons have kids and millions of dollars, you'll find that it eases the depression slightly, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I never believed for a minute that this man killed himself, not for 1 minute. So, now it's come out, 32 fucking years later. Sorry, that's the shit show that is Rockstar that we mentioned in the last video there. Yeah, for 32 years, anybody worth their salt, who enjoyed and took an interest in Nirvana, and Kurt Cobain, pretty much knew this fella didn't kill himself for 32 years. So, now it's come round. Now this fella didn't kill himself. I mean, I've told you before, you want to listen to his conspiracy theories, because we're always right. We're literally always right. I've been right on this for 31 years and 10 months here, you know what I mean? Didn't make a big deal about it. Not a lot I can do about it, but I'll tell you now, this man did not kill himself. And you can't shoot yourself with a shotgun, with shoes on, and people fucking tried this to prove it, and they couldn't do it. So, yeah, the man didn't kill himself. Let's have a listen to this.
A new peer-reviewed study was recently released that formally challenges the official ruling on Curt Cobain's death. The paper, published in the International Journal of Forensic Sciences, presents a forensic argument that the death was a homicide. It's an academic report written by a team of specialists, including ballistic experts, chemists, and medical examiners. Although this study was published in a smaller open access journal, not the major industry standard. However, the lead author, Brian Burnett, is a heavyweight. He's a court-accepted expert in gunshot residue, who's previously published in the top-tier Journal of Forensic Sciences. In this new report, they analyzed the original autopsy, the shotgun mechanics, and the crime scene photos. Their conclusion is that the official police narrative is scientifically impossible. The report breaks down 4 specific technical areas that they argue point to foul play: the gun, the blood, the drugs, and the position of the body. First is the gun. The police have always stated that Curt gripped the barrel with his left hand to steady it. But this new study argues that is physically impossible with the specific weapon. Curt used a Remington Model 11 shotgun. The gun has a mechanical quirk. The barrel has to slide backward to kick out the empty shell when you fire. The experts state that if you held the barrel, like the police say Curt did, the gun jams. It cannot eject the shell because your hand blocks the movement. However, at the scene, the shell was ejected and found lying on the floor. The study concludes that for the shell to eject, Curt's hand could not have been gripping.
Right, well, there we go. And there's another one. And again, I don't even think it's going to get a mention here, but yeah, the original reason, as I've mentioned, why this man didn't kill himself is you couldn't pull the trigger with his shoes on because it was a long barrel Remington shotgun. So, again, this has been known for 32 years that this man didn't kill himself. And again, the prime suspect, I'll tell you now, is his wife, Courtney Love. And everybody's known that. Everybody has known that for 32 years. This woman walked free. I mean, every time I've seen this woman in the public eye or on a film, because she's a bit of an actress, I literally thought, you killed Curt Cobain. Every single time I've ever seen her, you killed Curt Cobain and got away with it. So there's another reason you couldn't grip the shotgun with your hand at the top to eject the bullet, but the bullet was ejected. She basically just shot him in the face. That's what she did. She shot him in the face.
The barrel. And if his hand wasn't on the barrel, they argue that he couldn't have pulled the trigger in the manner described by police. Second is the blood evidence. When a shotgun is fired that close, it creates a backspatter, spray of blood back onto the weapon and the shooter. The study notes that there was blood inside the vents on the end of the gun. However, Curt's left hand, which was supposedly gripping that exact spot, was completely clean. No blood spray. The authors say that if his hand was there, it would have been covered in evidence, but it wasn't. Third is the toxicology. We know Curt had a massive amount of heroin in his system. The study claims it was enough to knock him out in seconds. The experts allege that it is highly unlikely he could have injected that much heroin, put his drug kit away, rolled down his sleeves, and then picked up a gun before passing out. They also point to a mark on Curt's arm. They describe a puncture wound that looks like it came from a different type of needle than the ones found in his kit. They suggest this could be evidence that someone else administered the injection. And then there is the note. For years, fans have argued about the handwriting, and this study scrutinizes the top half of the letter, which reads like a letter about quitting the band and matches Curt's handwriting. But the bottom 4 lines, the only part that actually mentions taking his life, the report says the writing style completely shifts, becoming larger, suggesting a second author. Finally, they allege the body was moved. They analyzed how the blood dried on Curt's clothes. They argue that gravity tells the story. The blood flow suggests his...
Yeah, I mean, long story short, Curt Cobain didn't kill himself, and anybody who kind of, as I said, followed Nirvana at the time, pretty much knew he didn't kill himself, and I've always pretty much blamed Courtney Love for it. The only other side crack is he's a member of the 27 Club, I believe. Again, artists that died at the age of 27, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, possibly River Phoenix, quite a lot of them died at the age of 27. Usually in suspicious circumstances. Again, it's a whole sort of conspiracy in itself, the 27 Club. Again, artists that died at the age of 27, usually in suspicious circumstances. So, yeah, there's a kind of, like, we'd have to look into the 27 Club, to be honest. Kind of maybe links into the Illuminati crack a little bit, and it could be a ritual sacrifice of people who are 27 and famous. Who knows? It's a possibility in the world we live in with the people who run the world, as we've seen here, who run around sacrificing and eating children, it would seem. So don't put anything out of the window these days. So yeah, I mean the primary thing is Courtney Love shot him. That the relationship wasn't the best at times. During a full blown heated argument, possibly where he was going to leave her or something. She shot him in the face with a shotgun. Courtney Love is the primary suspect and reasoning for his death, but yeah, as a secondary one, he is a member of the 27 Club, and he murdered. I mean, still possibly by Courtney, but was she put up to it? And is she in the club? You know what I mean? Many women are in the club. Kim Kardashian and Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? Ghislaine Maxwell. There's women in the club, as we know. So yeah, it's a bit of a the 27 Club crack drifts into it, but primarily it could have just been a domestic, because Courtney Love's a bit erratic and psychopathic, is kind of the crack in a way. So that's the news anyway. Kurt Cobain's ruling should be a homicide, but it isn't. It still isn't, and it hasn't been changed, and it's not going to be reinvestigated here. Because again, it's in Hollywood, and if it was part of the 27 Club, it probably gets covered up because the people are in on it. You know what I mean? Even the police and the judges are in the club. They try and get police and judges in the club as a mandatory thing, because that's how you sort of get things to get passed by, if you get the judges and the police. So again, it hasn't been reopened as a homicide, but it's always anybody who's known knows there's fucking salt here has known it was a homicide for 32 years. So that's the news. That's the news here. Yeah, well, again, it was a great loss to music. Nirvana, again, never mind, brilliant album. Smells Like Teen Spirit there. There's another song for you. Smells Like Teen Spirit. In Bloom. In Bloom. There's another. I'll get to Nirvana in the shorts eventually. Nirvana's got a few songs there that people don't listen to, it would seem. So, yeah, Kurt Cobain ruling should be homicide. Completely agree. I've agreed for 32 years. Can't shoot yourself with a shotgun with your shoes on. We'll leave there. Peace.